Don't underestimate the power that stepping out of your routine can have on your outlook on life, your positivity, and just seeing the world with brand new eyes. Sometimes we get caught up in our routines and life seems to have no purpose other than our daily tasks. So for me, I find that going on mini trips has been a way to kind of help us step back and see the larger perspective in life. And sometimes that larger perspective is just getting to see your kids in different environments, see them thrive, and see them experience the world with brand new eyes. And that's something that money can't put a price tag. You can't put a price tag on that. Money can't buy that. Of course, initially it might be annoying to drive 2.5 hours to go to the beach, or it might be annoying to spend an extra $50 on the aquarium that we've been to a few times. However, our son and daughter have never been to this aquarium, and it's not for our memories, but it's for our memories together with the babies. And for those of you who say they're too young to remember, well, the joy that they had living in the moment was definitely something that, we couldn't just catch on camera. The joy that my son had getting to touch a stingray for the first time and hearing him squeal with delight was definitely worth every penny and every amount of time that it took us to get to the aquarium. So now I will unmute so you guys can hear how much he enjoyed it.
The shark?
Sure.
Baby shark.
Is he redfish?
Finn is almost 2 now, and we want him to be able to explore the world around him, to, have a thirst for knowledge, to keep asking questions, and to keep on being curious about the things he sees around him. And when we take him to places like this where he can interact with animals and see things that he otherwise wouldn't be able to see, we can really see him come to life and just get really excited about things that he's learned in books and on shows. So there's nothing like being able to see it firsthand and experience him there in person. As a tactile learner myself, I understand how important it is for other tactile learners to go out and learn things with their hands by firsthand experience, not just by reading it in a book or seeing it on TV. The week leading up to our aquarium trip, I rented several books from the library about aquariums and about ocean animals so that he can have some understanding before we went on this trip. And he asked a lot of questions and got to see the animals on TV. And then when he was there in person, I was surprised at how much of the names he remembered. And I'll unmute coming up here because he actually remembered the name of the eel down there and was asking questions about it. And typically before we go on a big trip and do have different things planned out, I'll prepare him in advance. Sometimes I'll take a few weeks to prepare him. Sometimes I'll do it the week of so he can remember. But I do like to get him ready for whatever the experience is going to be, so it's not just a surprise. And sometimes I'll tell him, we're going to do that soon. We're going on a cruise with both of the babies soon, and that's another thing I want to prepare him for.
You tell me, you know what it is?
What's that?
You know what it is?
That?
What is it?
What's that?
You tell me.
That?
Is it you?
And both babies absolutely loved the dolphin show. They were both really, really happy, and they both seemed to just be enjoying being there and being outside with the animals and in nature with, their mommy, daddy, and grandparents. So I would definitely recommend going out and just taking your kids on to this experience. And actually, when my husband and I were just dating, That was one of the things that we did to celebrate our very first Valentine's Day together. We drove out to Corpus Christi and we went and had dinner, and then we went to the aquarium as well. We are planning on going back in a few months because it is exactly the halfway point between where my parents live and where we live. So it's easy for them to kind of just meet us there rather than driving the 5.5 hours up here and us driving 5.5 hours to go to the valley. It is exactly halfway in the middle. So we do plan on going again right before summer starts. The show is a nice thing to do there because it's about 30 to 40 minutes. Get a good seat and just relax as you see the dolphins doing their thing and hear the talks about, how they train the dolphins, how they take care of them, and how important dolphins are to the ecosystem in the wild. So it was really interesting to learn about. And of course, even children as young as my son and daughter can enjoy it. We haven't been to the Lexington yet, but that is something that we are going to go do the next time we're in Corpus. And again, that's one of the ways that I'm going to kind of get him used to, or get him understanding that we're going on a cruise, is by taking him to the Lexington, which is a huge ship, and then from there teaching him about other ships. And if you're there at the Corpus Christi Bay, you can actually see huge ships that are shipping things come into the bay, and he was already asking about that. So that was another opportunity that I had to tell him, hey, we're going to go on one of those ships, this year, but at the end of this year. So he was kind of getting excited for that. And when we planned on taking him on our train ride this past November, that was one of the things that I did to get him ready to go for that trip. Was I showed him a lot of train videos online, and we took a smaller train trip when we were in Colorado. We took a 3-hour train ride up into the mountains from Durango to Silverton and back. So that kind of got him used to getting on the train and getting ready for the 16-hour ride. And I also took him to a train museum as well. But that was a little bit rough with younger babies, so I think we're not going to go on a train ride for a while. While we were here sitting down watching the dolphins, and I got to see how much Finn was enjoying it, I got the idea that whenever we do go on our cruise into Mexico, one of the excursions that I want to do with him and with Aubriel is the swimming with the dolphins. I believe that one is all ages. So if that is the case, then we will definitely take them to that one, because he wanted to stay with the dolphins the whole time. He did not want to leave.
Babe, she's upside down.
Dolphin. What I learned after being a mom and having 2 babies is that having children doesn't mean that you have to stop and just be at home all the time. I mean, you definitely have to reconsider the things that you do and take more time and consideration, but they're going to enjoy things just as much as you're going to enjoy them, and they're getting to experience them for the first time through brand new eyes. So if you are considering taking a trip with your babies or your children, I would definitely say it's a good idea, because not only are you involving them in your life decisions, but you're not making yourself feel limited because you have children. You can still travel, you can still see the world, and you can show it to them, because that's the best way for them to learn. Like, as soon as the ship was passing, I used it as a learning opportunity to teach him the difference between a boat and a ship. And then he got to ask questions and see it, and not just from his book, but in real life. And to me, that was just a really unforgettable experience. The last thing that we did on our trip was go to the beach, and I got to drive our Subaru onto the beach, and we got to see the waves crashing. It was rather windy, which made the temperature feel like it was 10 to 20 degrees cooler than it actually was. But luckily, we did all have coats on, so we were able to kind of warm ourselves up and stay in the car. Because the first day that we got there, it was really cold and really windy. But that's totally okay because I enjoy the beach either way. I enjoy it if it's windy, if it's sunny, if it's hot, if it's warm. I just love being there with the salty water and just hearing the ocean waves. So that concludes our little trip to Corpus Christi. And although it was just a 2-night trip, it was still amazing.